Alright, we are back with another episode of some raiding. I do actually plan on doing a little bit more development towards the end of the stream, as there's a couple things I wanted to go over. So there's a couple new enchants I want to create. I want to create some more ammo for some hunters. Let me look at my to-do list. Need to check on 4 Horsemen Void Zone Avoidance. CY enhancement bots are mostly benefiting from spell damage rather than attack power, agility, etc. Then I gotta figure out some other stuff. But yeah, I think luckily today's Father's Day, and so my wife was kind enough to watch the kids for most of the day, so I'm gonna have a bit extra time. Been working really hard on a lot of things. I know a lot of you guys are anticipating a new update here shortly to the repack. And I'm sorry things have been taking so long. It's just one thing after another, and then I want to make sure that the challenge modes are in a finished state before I actually release anything, so that's where that's at. What else? Other updates. So, channel, haven't been doing a whole lot of tutorials lately, just because I'm busy with trying to get this repack update pushed out. It's been too long, I feel like. I've been busy with kids, busy with work, so stuff has just gotten pushed back this summer. But I should be doing some more tutorials soon. Next update, I'm probably going to be working a little bit more on Gilneas. Going to be finishing up some tier sets for the Auspecs for tier 2.5 and 3. Going to be doing some more bot rework stuff for various bots. And what else? Yeah, Gilneas, got to do some more murky stuff. And honestly, once Gilneas is done, we're going to be doing some Emerald Dream development, because Belgarth is pretty close to finish with that there too. And I'm trying to think of what else we have really that's coming up immediately. Probably do some more, another challenge mode. Right now, I'm not really happy with the challenge mode reward system. I think ideally I would have like chests spawn when the boss dies and you have certain challenges active. But since it's a single player repack, the cash system works fine, I guess. And I can switch that out later on, but yeah, I mean for TBC I'm probably going to actually do something closer to a Mythic Plus system. Someone's calling me, one sec. So, yeah, that'll be a little bit different for TBC. But yeah, I should, as soon as Naxx and some of the earlier rewards for challenge modes are done, I'll be happy enough to push an update out. So that's where things are at. We're gonna go ahead and head to Naxx because that's what we're doing tonight. I did end up getting the Corrupt Ashbringer. Realized I had kept it at a really high item level and I didn't want that, so reduced the item level on that. Still legendary, because I feel like it should be. And let me guess, we need more GUIs, yeah. So, Belgarth, I have a thing for you. If you're up for it. Shoot, hold on. Unequip. It's a good thing that the passivity is enabled here, otherwise I would have been attacked by the guards. You know the Nether bot add-on that shows your equipment like this? How would you feel about making it in a paper doll frame? It seems like it'd be a lot of work, but it might not be as much work as, say, a talent system. I've been wanting something like that for a while, to be honest, so it would be nice. I know someone actually developed one, but you know, I think they wanted money for it or something, and they don't really want to sell it to someone who's a repack owner, so yeah. You've actually played with it. I really am curious as to how things went. But yeah, we've done a lot of bot improvement stuff lately. I'm going to show you a lot of the cool stuff that we've added in Naxx today. So bots will start doing mechanics for certain bosses. This is an ongoing process though. I would like them to do more mechanic stuff. So like on a Nubricon, it would be nice if the tank actually ran alongside the perimeter of the ring or whatever. Or on Grobbulus, if the tank would move the boss periodically. Some of that stuff you can already do with the send to command. It's just nice to have stuff automated rather than having to micromanage all that stuff yourself. So, and then I mean, I showed you guys already the what was it? The Thaddius switch, right? So improved on that. I fixed the negative charge auras and whatnot, so that should be working properly now as well. But anyway, reset IP. I think it'd be nice to do. I would like to start on the Ashbringer questline too next update. That would be good. I have plans for one of the characters, and I think it'd be good to start on that sooner rather than later. And then I also need to finish up some of the custom bosses and do it for Naxx as well. I plan on having a custom boss after Kel'Thuzad for the next trinket upgrade. So yeah, about geared, reforging, all that crap. I've done some of it here and there. Yeah, so Belgarth and I kind of talked about like what it would be nice to have certain GUIs for reforging, bot gear, but you know, that's it's gonna take time, and it may never happen, which is totally fine. It's so funny because like if we were on a Legion client, we wouldn't need to worry about any of that stuff, except for the bot stuff. And the bot stuff would be continually managing that. So I want to show off real quick the pull command. So pull command is a new command if you have a hunter in your group. Maybe it will fail here because there's a little bit of a dip, but we're going to try it anyway. Well, she was in line of sight when we started the pull, but bots will move with you for a period of time after you use the pull command. I'll misdirect the tank. I wanted that since like day one of having bots. Let me see if I can show you a better example. So let me just LOS everyone. Should never occur. That's a bug. Well, that shouldn't be happening anyway, but that's okay. I'm gonna try anyway. So she'll come back. If we want to move again, we can. We can move a third time, and bots will move with you if they don't get stunned. But yeah, it's been nice to actually have bots pulling. Took quite a bit of time to figure out, but we got there. I should start with a different wing, but we'll just go ahead and start with the typical patchwork wing and then work our way over. I feel like the sewage slime should be pulling. He probably needs his aggro radius increased a little bit. These patchwork golems in the repack were doing level 80 damage, which was incorrect, so I had to go ahead and fix those. A lot of the undead also couldn't be affected by things like blood plague or frost fever, so I went ahead and made sure that they could be affected by those things as well. But it's so yeah, Death Knights are less useless in Naxx. Some of the bleed effects too were added back in, so warriors are again more useful. And I'm always working on tweaking numbers or making encounters a little bit more interesting. I haven't done too many custom changes for Naxx, but I kind of feel inclined to add some changes to the Sapphiron fight where he has ads or something of the nature, but... Alright, we're going to use a pull command. And the nice thing about the pull command is if for some reason your bot can't actually find LOS, you can move into LOS and then move out of LOS. Just do a big pull that first. I'm just going to go ahead and pull again. So every time you hit the pull button, your bots will move with you, and they'll move with you like 3 times. So you can just keep hitting the pull button if you want them to keep moving with you. It's kind of an interesting way to kite, but you'll be notified when the pull event ends as well. So for fights like this, where you need to do some AoE on a group of mobs, it's actually kind of useful. And if I stayed still, they'd be doing a better job of doing AoE, but... of course, sometimes bots don't want to move, which is fine. That's just like how normal players would play anyway. Yeah, it's been good, man. The pull command is super dope. But doing this before without a pull command was kind of a pain in the ass, not gonna lie. You had to like put all your melee here, have your range stand out there, and sacrifice your melee essentially. I feel like the hunter pulling one monster is indeed the best option, but I think he should get close to the monster being pulled and be within range, then start pulling the monster. Why would you do that? That's not how you would pull as a hunter. So they have to be within 45 yards of the target anyway. So, yeah, I mean, if you're doing an LS pull with a hunter, why would they run up to the boss? It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. But, anyway. So. And again, you can make them spread out again. They'll actually stay stacked on you until you hit the follow button again, which is kind of nice. But, yeah. It's the easiest solution. I do plan on adding pull methods for like tanks and stuff later on. But I honestly think that we can survive with the hunter pull for now. No, it's 7 PM for me. But yeah, I don't know why you would want anything to run up and because like think about dead mines for example. If you have your tank run up to the mob and pull the mobs, it's gonna pull a bunch of other crap that you don't want to pull. So I don't really understand, but okay. Melee huntards, yeah, for sure. So. So yeah, I mean they'll move to you 3 times essentially is what it comes down to. And then they'll go back to doing their thing. It's just a safer way to pull, so. But yeah, China, it's time for bed for you, right? My kid's been crying for a bit, but my wife will probably take care of him. So anyway, Nope, you did the pro player strats for pulling. I approved. Yeah, I get it. So I would, again, like Avenger Shield and stuff like that. I'd probably have like a priority system if you have X, Y, or Z in your group. Then you use that. So, Paladin will use Avenger's Shield to pull and then pull back, but we'll see. Like I say, it's just a process. But yeah, so LOS pull is cool. But again, like I say, if for whatever reason the LOS pull fails, you can just LOS yourself, since they'll move with you. I was thinking about tradable levels, reward points in the public realm. So we already have that, by the way. Buffoon, I don't remember if you remember doing that. Oh, tradable levels and reward points. No, I think I'm gonna stop on that system, to be honest. I don't want things like that to be tradable. I think some things should not be tradable, and that's one of those things that shouldn't be tradable. With other players, I'm assuming, is what you mean. But I think other than adding a couple new additions to the reward points, there's probably not much more I'm going to do there. So I've been trying to cut back on some quality of life stuff. But we have this new store thing. But, yeah. Yeah, so honestly I've been trying to put more like you have to do X, Y, or Z in order to unlock Y benefit. so I like the quality of life stuff too. I just really I want to work for it sometimes. Maybe some weekly or daily quest. Yeah, I'm actually going to be working on a weekly quest for raid quests for vanilla that rewards reward points and a couple other things. But I should probably get everyone to use a flask. Hold on. Oh, store thing, yeah, so rather than going to the NPC, we just use the UI for the reward points, so that's good. It cleaned up some of the stuff. I've been trying to clean up the Dinkle Stones, so to speak. There's still the reward points vendor if you want to access them, but it was kind of hacky in the sense that you could summon it anywhere you wanted and use it as a vendor, because I removed the vendor options from Murky, and I'm going to re-implement them, but I'm basically going to do them behind like a quest, so. Is that on public realm? Nope, not yet. I'm planning on doing an update probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. It really just depends on when I get certain stuff done. So we'll get there eventually. Also, I found a happy medium with what is his stupid ability? With Patchwerk's ability, damage. He does his acid spit throughout the fight now too, just so that healers actually have something to do. But I am concerned about like being able to do things in challenge modes, so I want to make sure things are balanced for that as well. The challenge modes are basically there for people who just want harder content that they can repeat and actually get additional rewards from, but definitely not required. So. Because the store thing is much better than the NPC vendor. Yeah, I agree. We're gonna have to change a couple things in it, but it's definitely something that's easier to add to, and people can customize to their liking. So, yeah. I'm trying to decide if I want to do reward points for TBC or not. I think I do, but it's I don't know. I gotta figure something out. Maybe leveling up to a certain point reduces the amount of reward. No, actually, because those are account-wide. Like, it's good for some things to carry on between expansions, but I understand why Blizzard does all the resetting of, like, different tokens for item rewards and stuff like that. Not that reward points are, like, in any way going to help you with progression or anything like that, but I mean, they do have some things like the potions that you can't get normally for Light of a Loon and like Thornling seeds and stuff like that, but other than that, it's just mostly cosmetic stuff. Let's see. Time. Or sorry, Belgar says, yeah, it's fancy, shows you transmogs and mounts before you buy as well. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that, Mad, but we have easy collections too. Maybe you've seen that already, that is on the public realm. Take your time, no one is rushing you to get your hobby complete. Yeah, I'm rushing myself. I'm feeling the pressure. I have people ask, especially when people ask me, hey, when's the next update out? It's like, okay, I definitely probably need to do another update. But bots really suck at slimes. What about the leveling gear that scales with you? The heirloom gear, yeah, I'd honestly rather just get rid of heirlooms entirely. I think they nullify a ton of gear. I think maybe once you reach level 80 and then you craft the heirloom gear, but I think even then, like, it has to be difficult to obtain. I just don't like being able to buy them for tokens. So Corlock for TBC can remove reward points in classic content. Yeah, well, I've thought about adding extra, I don't know, arguments for people trying to do classic content and getting reward points that way. I think what I'll probably end up doing is just adding more rewards, and the TBC content can add more reward points or something, and then the new rewards will just be inflated. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. No more reward points. Now it's reward tokens. Yeah, we could do that. That would work, but yeah, I think it's just one of those things. I don't know if this guy's probably not in range. Yeah, he's 45 feet away. But yeah, I mean, I really think the simplest solution would just to be introduce a new token system for reward points. But you know, I don't know. I gotta figure out something for inconspicuous chests in TBC too, because it's gonna be different. And that's kind of what the original intention was to create another currency for TBC for the inconspicuous chests, and probably change up what the chests are. I'd like them to be like mundane objects, like a wheel of cheese or some random bush that you try to pick up. Pay for tokens in TBC. Yeah, let's just let's do that. I had an idea that some system that reward you for each max level character you have. Yeah. So we are thinking about like a prestige system or an attribute system from Anki where basically you do certain content or do something, I don't know what it is. Like maybe you do a challenge mode raid with like 4 fixes or something, and then you get an extra permanent stat. But that's yeah, gotta worry about like bots, right? Bots will lag behind as a result. You gotta worry about balance and power creep, so it's like, yeah, I don't know. Have to figure it out. But we got time until TBC to think about a lot of things and decide what we want to do. I definitely need to rebalance pretty much everything in TBC. I don't really know how easy it is at the moment, but it seems like it's all pretty much doable with the few exceptions of things that I'm fixing next update. So conspicuous chests, yeah, chests that are just out in the open. They should be like 50 feet tall and like painfully obvious. But I like the blah blah blah, the hidden chest system. It's adds that layer of like finding things. That's one thing I liked about Warlords of Draenor, not gonna lie. Like, you could just go find those treasures and level up. But yeah, I would like to do it probably closer to the Warlords type system for TBC, but we'll see. I had a Paragon system before that gives stats. Yeah, I remember that. I think I still have it saved somewhere, but yeah, I think at this point I've learned enough since then that I could probably alter it to be what I wanted it to be. But man, this guy's slow to come down. Right, so I hate this fight for a couple reasons. The stupid oozes or the puddles that spawn on the ground. I don't know how to make bots avoid those because they keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So I have to figure that out. Maybe increasing. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to experiment with it, but and then bots were not getting hit by the aura to drop poison clouds, so I made them be hittable with that. So now you can send them to a location when they have the aura to drop the cloud. But I really want the bot to move around the room, and I may or may not do that before the update. So having the tank bot move whenever there's a slime like spawned would be really nice to have. So nope. That's not what I wanted. I wanted just my tank to move. So I haven't tested bots being hit by any of this stuff yet, but with regards to the yeah, so Baba Yaga has the thing, so you send her over there. Maybe she moves, maybe she doesn't. And then she can join the fight again. And then I gotta... This is really just like too much management, bot management for one fight. Because you gotta move your tank. But yeah, I mean, bots won't get hit by the clouds right now. They're just immune to it. Player still gets hit. But I'd like the tank to just move around in a corner. Or in a circle, rather. And I think giving the plague to the bots to drop the clouds was maybe a mistake, but it's easy to fix. So let's see, hate it, so hard to change things, yeah. I just put a bunch of random X's on the ground and the player has to stand on them and take a conspicuous chest to the head in order to get their reward, yeah. But yeah, updating the AoE check, so they will check, but they'll only check within a certain radius. And I don't know if checking these because they grow, because they're NPCs that grow, and maybe their melee radius changes, and I could track that instead. But why did like 5 of you just get hit by a slime? Okay, we need to fix this so you don't slime the entire raid again. I left my warlock to die. That's hilarious. But yeah, and I think in terms of ease of the fight, this is definitely a much easier fight with bots now. So just, I hate making bots immune to mechanics. I'd rather actually make them do the mechanics, which is one of the cool things about Sapphiron. Because they'll actually spread when Sapphiron goes up in the air. And then 3 of them will get ice blocked and they'll move behind the ice blocks. So that was really awesome to do. I probably too much resistance for this fight too. Just need to play around and test, yeah. But yeah, so much of what I've been doing lately has just been playtesting. So that's probably what's been taking up all the time and why it's taking me so long to push a release. I was trying to, let's see, so Corlox says we're trying to play on the Warming Classic progressive server, got to level 5 and noticed you can buy gear from their website. No thank you. Yeah. I'm okay. How do I feel about that? So I think that it's definitely not a good thing. I know that they do like a progressive system where only the previous tier's gear or whatever is available on their website. But it is pay to win. I don't know. I used to take advantage of it, not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, you gotta make money somehow, I guess, but I feel like that's such a bad way to make money. Just do mounts or like, I don't know, bags or something. Not like skipping loot, because then, you know, people are not going to do the previous raids, so whatever. So I changed up Gluth as well. There's a couple ways to do Gluth now. I just like having tanks or melee hang out and chill with the greats, I guess you could call them. Let's see, hold on, talents. Let me make you a tank. And you can go stand over there. And you can stand here. I'm gonna do Fang over here too. So we have, let's see. Since we have GM commands, that just feels silly. Yeah, with the selling items. Obviously we wouldn't ever sell items on the decal pack, that would be silly. But yeah, I think it's, I can't remember, I left her as melee, but anyway. Should add a test realm and make so only test accounts can join. So people you want to test for, you can. Yeah. So his decimate works better now. It actually works on all bots and players. Before it wasn't actually hitting the players or bots. I did increase the stacks of mortal wounds so that you don't have to swap out your tanks too much. And honestly, if your tank has high avoidance, they're going to be fine anyway. But yeah. And then I increased the frequency at which the zombies come out, so that's another thing. I did increase their speed a little bit. And now we just go around killing zombies for now. Yeah, I mean, the tanks and melee did a pretty good job of just hanging out with the zombie chows, so... Oh, I should probably move a healer back there, hold on. Uh-oh. Let me just put my priest healer over there. So Corlox says I added a dungeon to the finder on my server, and for some reason it teleports me into the void. What DBC should I go edit to fix it? I can't remember off the top of my head, but map DBC, map difficulty DBC, and LFG. You also need entries in the database itself. So, yeah. Trying to remember which ones, but maybe after the stream if I remember, or after the raid, I mean. I don't know why it just turns like that. I gotta look at that. Usually he only turns when like a zombie chow is nearby, but I could probably give the zombie chow a little bit more health on decimate, but I wasn't sure what would be good considering it's a 25 man now. So, the entries I didn't do. Yeah, so something database is what I would say. Mad Buffoon says, I got some anime to watch, I will catch you later. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon, man. Alright, so we got Gluth down. And now we're on to the fun fight. I'm still torn on what to do with the Fugan and whatever Stalag fight. I mean, I guess I could split up groups or whatever, but then you have to slack things individually. You have to make sure your bots are like equally damaged or whatever, or equally doing damage, which is just a pain. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do that. The only thing that I really would have to remove, though, for the most part, is the teleport thing. But right now they have the teleport thing removed, and they have the AoE damage removed if you take them too far away from their platforms. Or maybe it's just highly reduced. So that thing would make a great pet. Yeah. Gluth? I think we actually have a rating with leashes pets for him that has a chance to drop. I can't remember, I have to look at it. But as a hunter pet, yeah. I think it would be kind of fun if Death Knights could tame some undead. Alright, so one of the cool things that I did with Thaddius too is I did a short-range teleport with the bots. So if you jump over onto the platform and you don't press the teleport button or the summon button on your nether bot, they'll just be summoned to his location when he starts the fight anyway. I kind of want to test that out because I haven't tested that out yet, but we're gonna do it. And usually they'll just try to like go around, and it's maybe I didn't add that. Either way. I'll have to check. Okay, so positive, negative. Maybe I just thought about adding it. That's the thing, is I never know what I thought about adding. Once he does polarity shift, we'll figure out where everyone's going. But negative goes left, positive goes right, bots will move. I'm just going to go ahead and hero now. And everyone gets a single stack of the charge because it... reasons, rather than having them stack multiple times. I just feel like this is balanced. So... I do another polarity shift. Got negative this time. And so I don't know if on the last stream when I had them doing this, if it was 100% success rate, but now it's 100% success, so... Again, it's one of those fights that makes me want to think if maybe I should add something to it or just change it altogether. But... another shift. Still positive. I don't know if he did. I find it slightly obnoxious that the Fury Warrior bots don't actually show both weapons. I wonder if there's an easy way to fix that. Probably not, but... I could probably add another stack of the negative charge or the charge damage increase, but we'll see. I did try to get him to cast Chain Lightning more often. It doesn't seem like he does, but someone's on the wrong side. So someone did make a mistake. That's okay though. Maybe it was just a Chain Lightning. But yeah, I think it would be good for him to have more abilities in general. That said, I haven't tested this on challenge modes yet, so I want to test it with at least 3 challenges before I make a decision. Oops. Almost went through the wrong side. Because again, the goal with like challenge modes is to not make things impossible, but just significantly more difficult. Hidden Blade. What do you mean by Hidden Blade, Acrio? Alright, that's the end of the fight. That is such a good chest. Oh, Fury Warrior. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yep. But it is what it is. Like if you equip them, like let me show you. So for example, I have that, and if I offhand equip it, like it shows up now, but whenever you change locations or whatever, it just vanishes for some reason. Not sure why. Let's do, what do I want to do? Arachnid. I did add some things to Arachnid. Military, Plague. Quarter is kind of boring, not gonna lie. Corlock says, what do you think about Seasons of Discovery, and have you thought about doing something like a Rouge system for abilities? Yeah, I have. Gonna have sort of, kind of something. Not really. Sort of system for TBC. That's why I'm giving everyone Inscription, because it's gonna be part of Inscription. So Inscription is gonna be a secondary skill. But basically, it's gonna be sort of a combination of like the legendary system from Legion and the rune forging system, where you can have some kind of cool enchantments, passive effects for your abilities, or you can learn new abilities. Just depends. But like always, some of that stuff is really just kind of painful to balance out with bots. So you could always do an R check on bots, but yeah, it'll be good. I just feel like Inscription needed some more love, and I feel like it kind of makes sense to have Inscription be a part of that system. And I really didn't like taking up slots for legendaries, and felt like the legendary enchantment, I guess you could call it, would be a better option to like allow you to have some more customizability, I guess. But okay, let me turn down some settings real quick. View distance is always high. Not gonna lie, I hate this fight. I would like... I did add some avoidance for bots on a Nubricon. Ah, damn it. Alright, there we go. Let's just do... Circle for you. So circle is actually my off tank raid icon, which is why I do that, and my DK is technically my off tank, but typically you probably just want to use hero right off the bat and DPS down the boss and ignore the ads. But yeah. Okay, why are you guys not attacking at a long distance? That's kind of scaring me a little bit. Alright, moment of truth. So, again, like you could make your bot run along the edge, and the other bots will actually do a pretty good job of avoiding Locust Swarm at the moment, but tank bots suck at it. So, anyway. I don't know if you saw one of the bots spazzing out, but that's them trying to avoid Locust Swarm and attack at the same time. So, that's where we're at with Locust Swarm at the moment. Which, it works. Not really the best, but it still works. Move my bot. Okay, Locust Swarm again, we're moving. I have my DK just kind of move around the room, do its thing. And I could automate this probably pretty easily. I just have to set up predefined positions in a clockwise or counterclockwise manner for bots to follow. But yeah, it's you guys doing? You're attacking that. Okay, we're gonna attack this guy now. Just ignore everything else. I'm gonna put all my tanks up there because it's super obnoxious. But yeah, some automation for the fight would be nice. And we're just gonna eat Locust Swarm if it comes up. So, there's that. You guys failed at the Immortal achievement. What's next? I think it's, what's her name? Remember her name. I like trying to kill all the trash I can because I get all the stupid scraps. I should have gotten a Frozen Rune, but I'll probably come back and get the Frozen Runes later. I like doing it after everything's cleared. Well, before Sapphiron, but I don't really need them for anything at the moment, to be honest. Alright, let's see. So, I think we can reliably pull here. Yeah, so there's my hunter bot going out, pulling, coming back. I had a really hard time with doorways initially when I was trying to figure out how to get hunters to pull. So I have two arguments for they'll check in a radius around the hunter for an LOS position to the target. And if that doesn't work, then they'll go for a smaller radius and they'll do like 24 checks before, yeah, deciding. This might be a hard location to do that. Okay, we're good. And it takes a minute for them to pull sometimes, just because they're doing all those checks. So, just something to consider. It'll tell you when the event's ended, like I said. Then do another hunter pull. So I think it's just so fun. It's so satisfying to actually have your hunter pull. Wanted that for so long. And follow. They do struggle a little bit on inclines, so if something's higher up than you, or if like something's on a platform above, you go up and flat platform, but that's just a simple LOS issue, not so much a height issue, I guess, but do I need a repair? So the occultists in this room were doing level 80 abilities as well. So how to adjust that? Just lots of adjustments, man. Like, always something to change. And get a repair bot. Devices. Change the icon for the repair bot. But just wanted something easier to find. Okay, I'm gonna make them pull back here actually. So yeah, if you ever pull the group that big in the repack, then you'll know that that's a pretty painful pull. Why are we going that way? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get bots to move when they're already engaged in combat, or if they're getting knocked back on things. But you could add additional arguments to stop casting and stuff like that, but get them to pick stuff up. I thought I may or may not add a multi-shot in there, in the pull rotation. I haven't decided yet. I think it would be good, but I'd have to do special arguments for it. So, based on the bot's level, they use a certain rank of multi-shot.
Your old lives, your mortal desires mean nothing.
And we're just gonna do tank and spank on this one too. I do anticipate not being able to use a lot of these kind of simple strats on challenge modes and actually having to do the real strat, but that's just from my experience from doing like certain fights in AQ40 with challenge modes on. And then, of course, bots will already avoid the Rain of Fire. I did add a new ability to her, I just don't know if it's actually working at the moment, so... Yeah, I think the Shadow Bolt Volley or one of the Poison Volleys is a new ability, but it doesn't seem to be doing a lot of damage, so I'll probably increase that. And now she's enraged. It does seem like that took forever. But she's in a playable state, at least, so that's the biggest thing. I could tweak these things forever, to the point where, you know, it's hard to ever be 100% satisfied. But as long as it's playable, as long as the fight functions, that's probably the important part. At least for this upcoming update, and then I can tweak things later, so... So I did think about getting bots to move for the Noth dance, or the... not the Noth dance, the dance. But... we'll see. Honestly, the movement stuff takes so long that it's oftentimes just easier to make bots immune to certain mechanics. That's probably one of those things where it would probably just be better to have bots be immune to the dance mechanics, but... I'm glad you go back and tweak things. Too many AAA devs that will leave problems in the game for decades. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll leave stuff in. It just really depends on a couple things, right? Do I think the best solution is something I can handle now? If not, fix it to the best that I can. But yeah, I mean, I just want vanilla to be in a state where it's like... it's satisfying. It's not too challenging, but it's also... it does present a challenge, but it's not impossible. Even live service games see Ark Survival Ascended. Yeah. And some things I push back and don't do for a while, like some map stuff, like a floating barrel here and there. I probably, right now, especially when I'm trying to push out an update, I really just don't care about those kind of issues, and would rather work on something else that I'm trying to get done for the actual update. Or like certain bots not using certain abilities, or enhancement shaman, for example, not really going based off of attack power damage for abilities. It's spell power. That stuff is stuff I'm gonna probably have to wait to fix later. But I also really would love it if people actually reported things to Tricker's fork. I tell people that they should report it to certain areas and they don't, and yeah. Let's see, so none of your leftovers are game destroying. Yeah, I try. Sometimes they are, and then I have to push a hotfix, but it's yeah, hard to catch everything. And then you also, of course, are never sure if you're actually doing a perfect job with balancing. I think trying to get balancing right on a single player project with bots having their own form of balancing is really a pain. Like if this was a server without bots and it was just players, I'd have to rebalance things again. Just because players do tend to do more damage, like I'm doing more damage right now. So... But I try to increase damage and health and all that fun stuff. At some point I would like to just get rid of the individual progression nerfs and modify everything to just have one form of difficulty. Because I hate like looking at my spell and being like, well, this should be doing 600 damage, but I'm only doing 400. So yeah, individual progression. It's just work. Alright, Maexxna, we do have some new changes as well. Web wraps will work on bots, so it's not just you getting targeted for web wraps anymore. Web spray actually lasts 8 seconds for bots too. On the repack, it only lasts 8 seconds for the player, so... Gotta go, but enjoyed the stream. Sounds good, we'll talk to you soon, man. So we're just gonna go ahead and hero off the bat. If we have hero available. It might be good to just add a hero button to the Netherbot add-on, but people would have to disable hero from their bots so that they're not just casting them whenever they want. Oh, we should probably go free some of our cocooned friends out. Some of them are stacking on the same area, not every single one, but... Okay, that should be lasting 8 seconds. I'll have to look at that again. But, whatever. Oops. 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 I pressed the wrong button. I was testing, I was testing Twin Emps earlier, and I put it on my macros. Dang it. Okay. Sorry. I got sick of having to run back to Twin Emps every time I entered AQ40, so... That's so obnoxious. Yeah. That's okay. We're gonna run back real quick. Misclicking, man. It's deadly. Okay. Have you guys ever played with the click to move button? I always thought it was such a weird thing to add. I think Blizzard added it to the game because, like, the French wanted to play one-handed and smoke their cigarettes. Something like that. But I remember having to enable that for botting back in the day. So funny. Kind of makes me appreciate it a little bit more now that I've done some stuff with bots. But I just get to sit back, relax, wait for your character to make it to a certain position, you know. This is probably how, whatever system the mouse click movement system is probably how player bots works. I would guess. Okay, we're trying that again. Let me... It's okay. I wanted to make sure that web wrap durations are actually what they're supposed to be as well. Just do... Yeah, I feel like they need to have more... It seems like they're getting the same positions over and over again. Just these two. And they're not selecting from the other ones, so... Just need to figure that one out. It should... I think it's based off of... your distance to certain positions around the map. But it makes it a little bit predictable when it's the same position over and over and over again. Okay, see, that one worked for 8 seconds. The other ones have not been working for 8 seconds for some reason. My bot. Oh, is she wrapped and I don't know it? Yeah, of course. I was like, why are you taking damage? You're my tank. Anyway, I think it presents the other issue that if you tank the boss here, you can just kill the web wraps. Yeah, okay, I'll fix that. Web wrap fix. It's the worst exorcism cast. Okay. What did I get, by the way? I'm curious. Stygian's buckler. Dagger. I'm gonna do... What we're gonna do next? I kinda wanna do military last. I don't really feel great about where 4 horsemen are currently when it comes to the field of the fight. There's definitely a couple things missing. I feel like the damage needs to be a bit higher on certain things, but... And I'm debating on whether or not or how I want to do bot movement. I've thought about just adding sort of a 4 horseman bot command that you press a button for to get bots to move to certain positions or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see. Command would probably be the easiest thing, because then you can still have some management over your bots. Just... It's a lot of variables in that fight. It's like the worst pull ever. I just didn't want this stupid gargoyles to heal up, so that's why I heroed there. Yeah. Yeah, these guys aren't so much DPS check anymore, so that's good. Means we're geared up enough. Okay, so this fight, I did add a new AoE ability throughout the fight, and on the balcony he will cast it more frequently. He'll also summon ads more often, slightly. Just gonna have my bots stack because it's a little bit easier to manage during this fight if they're all together. The AoE ability is dispellable, but it's a short duration. Probably need to create a new version of it because it's the same one as Hakar uses. So it might be good to actually just increase the damage on it a little bit. But we'll see how balcony phase goes and go from there. If we get to that point. Maybe we just out DPS it this time. Yeah, we might actually not get to the balcony phase. Oh, barely. Let's see if he'll still do his... Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna have him cast that more. Mass Dispel actually makes it a lot easier. I just can't remember if I actually added Mass Dispel to my... if I added it to my priest bot yet for level 60. Do you think it's possible to add OpenAI to bots and have RP conversations to them? Yes, but it would be expensive. There's actually a number of people who've done that already. Not with NPC bots, but just NPCs in general. There was someone a while ago who did it, and shared with me his GitHub for it. But again, like I said, pretty expensive. Now, if you're running the AI on your local machine, somehow, then different story. But yeah, I mean, most of them require that you pay for tokens for that kind of stuff. So, unlikely to be a feature in the repack anytime soon. I won't say never, I'll just say anytime soon. But I would like it for to be a thing, to be honest, because getting bots to be more interactive and all that fun stuff would be good. Just need to see if we can find that conversation again. The person who worked on that GitHub, because, yeah. It would be good to at least look at the code again. It's been about 8 months since I've messed with anything with that. So, yeah. There's been some people who've done it through Lua, but it doesn't look terribly stable. So, and you'd need your own API key and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Was thinking about attempting it myself down the road, but just starting now. Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, something to consider. I would love it. I think it would be a really good addition, but it just needs to be cheaper or free for me to actually consider. Alright, I'm gonna go to... How do I want to do this? I'm trying to remember. Okay, so obviously I can't move. I'm just gonna have to do everything up there. I'm not even sure bots get affected by the slow casting speed. Just looking at the bot code recently, it makes me realize that there's quite a bit of things missing. But I mean, again, I think bots are awesome. Just like there to be more stuff always. I guess it doesn't matter really too much where bots stand, it only really matters where I stand here. Like I say, bots are not getting hit by this stuff, so... We might even actually be able to hero through this now. Unless I decrease the timer for the dance. I just stand on the platform and eat the debuff, yeah. So I did buff the debuff recently, and it's still nerfed on the repack, but... yeah. When he teleports, I mean... So we'll see how well we can do. Yeah, I mean, it hits harder. I do kind of want to keep it a lower value just for challenge modes, but at the same time, yeah. Honestly, with the pull command, you could probably do the dance now. Like, but yeah. If fight probably needs more tuning adjustments. And then, like, with Naxx 10 or 25 mana, you've always been able to do that, but just never found it to be terribly, terribly engaging. Well, I didn't have any abilities up. Sure, I actually got all my grub friends. So one thing I hate about this area is if you don't hide your bots, they're likely to pull some of the what are we in combat with? Are we in combat with this grub? Yeah, you're likely to pull some of the patrolling trash. Okay, good. What do you check in Spell Editor for a boss ability to target NPCs, not just the player? So it's not a Spell Editor thing, but there is a target player only checkmark button for flags. But for this stuff, you have to do it core side, because most things core side only target players and have a bool option for true or false to target just players. But just setting it to false is not good enough, because then you're going to have things like creatures or minions also targeted. So the way I do it is I set up a custom function to actually select random targets if it's a player or NPC bot, and then filter out all the other creatures. So that's just how I do it. So, but I mean, some abilities you could just do a simple uncheck the player only target method or whatever. It's just yeah, I'm gonna have everyone stack. And then this boss, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with balancing. It's hard for me to want to do, but getting... someone killed it too early. Okay. Getting bots to actually not kill the damn spores. I mean, the slack button is really nice for that now, because we have a DPS slack button, so that's good, but... Where's the... There it is. Okay, slack. Only 5 get hit at the same time, so... Should go ahead and do one more and then we'll hero. I'm doing a lot better damage than I was the first time I came in and did this, so... Might not even need the spores at this point. Slack, and then spore, get close, smack it, follow, hero, pop cooldowns. I see your Netherbot has extra fans. What are they? So depends on which version of Netherbot you're using, but attack distance, follow distance, you can set those. I have individual slack commands now, so setting bots to inaction, so they'll follow and do nothing. For DPS, DPS, healers, melee, and then just everything. And then I have 2 spread commands. They do two different things. So one is just a perfect circle, the other one's like an inner circle and an outer circle. And then I have a stack command, which tries to get bots to stack behind the boss, but it doesn't always work out so well. And then I have a pull command for hunters to pull the target, whether you're in LOS or not. But all of those things will be available once the once the updates happen, they don't. If I just released the add-on, it would not work because there was quite a bit of core changes involved. I'll kind of show you what they do in a minute. Alright, my healers are not doing so great right now. Okay, let's do another one. Actually starting to get hard. So I also made it so that the follow button actually removes slack from bots rather than hitting slack again, so I just felt like it was more consistent. Oh, and I did change things for it to use the guild chat rather than the say button, so if you're dead you can actually use the buttons on there as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know if you were here earlier for the stream, but I did show off the pull button a little bit more when I was just starting Naxx, so I think they'll be good. I just am all for more bot control. Bots being more independent and doing things that they should. Like if I want them to spread now, I can have them spread around the boss. So that's the first spread command. The second spread command is just an inner outer circle. And you can adjust the values as well and use like macro commands. So the default radius is like 35 yards. The second spread command is like 25-35, so 25 yards for the inner circle radius and 35 for the outer, which is good for most things like Kel'Thuzad and potentially Cthulhu. I just used the first spread command for Cthulhu though, so but the pull button would be super helpful, yeah. So again, if you let me see if you can show off the pull button real quick. Since we're doing a new quarter anyway, let's do military, I think is what's left. I don't know if I can pull here, because you have to be within 45 feet. So I'm just going to move all my bots here around the corner. You just use the pull command. And it'll tell you if you need to be closer. In this case I do. So let's just move everyone here. I need a target. There's two ways to pull. So if an LOS doesn't work for some reason, we can always pull this way. And then bots will follow you as well to an LOS position for a bit. It's really hard to pull from LOS if you're in a really tight corner. So that's why I added the other way to pull. So let's try it this one. Nope, they went away. That's okay. Let's do right here. Okay, why is it not working right now? Something's not working, but we'll figure it out. So there's an LOS pull. The hunter will run back. Maybe I need to just do a little bit more debugging, I don't know, or maybe I'm having add-on issues, who knows. So I'll do it again. Hunter pulls, comes back. And then your group follows you until the pull event is gone, so... Let's do... Kinda wanna try it again in this corner, because that was... Okay, well that worked. It's possible my hunter was already in LOS, but... Go ahead and pull these guys over here. It's really satisfying, I'm not gonna lie. That was probably too close to the other group, but that's okay. Yeah, so she'll look for 24 positions around her within 12 feet to see if it's within line of sight of her target. And then if that doesn't work, she'll look within 6 feet. That's just to help with doorways and stuff. And then it'll tell you if it didn't work out. But it's, I mean, like I say, you have two different ways to pull. You could just start out and LOS yourself and have your I'm still in combat with something, I don't know what it is. And just have your bots move with you. He's in combat. Or you just start out, like, again here, I'm full LOS, and then the bots will just follow you if you have like a caster in the group or something. But I've been wanting that since like day one of NPC bots. And you want to hit the follow button afterwards. That's probably... I can't decide if I want to make bots follow again after the pull is like... after some time has passed, but... I don't think it's that much effort to press the follow button again. But yeah, stack command can be useful. I still think that just the super send to command is better if you can get it to work. For some reason it's not wanting to work right now. There. Hold on, I need 2 seconds because I can't. Okay. Just need my camera off for 2 seconds. But yeah, you can also use it for kiting. It's if you just spam it. I haven't really tested spamming it for real, but I would assume it would be fine. So I want to just keep kiting along, I could do that. But look, we're moving again. But not the best example, it's just... I should probably add a command to use sapper charges on the bot add-on too, some of that stuff, but at some point I need to add like a second page because it's getting a little big. So I do think it would be good to have like raid specific encounter type commands. It would make my life easier with regards to certain fights and scripting out bots to do what they should on certain fights, but rather than having to plug it all inside of the actual fight, commands would be easier for sure. Although, I don't know if you saw the recent addition to the Sapphiron fight, but we did manage to get bots to move when Sapphiron goes up in the air. They'll spread, and then 3 of them will get targeted by ice blocks now, and once ice blocks are out, they'll actually move behind the ice blocks. So that's really nice, and that's going to be helpful for fights in the future. But yeah. That was a big boy pull. Yeah, I mean, my group is pretty well geared at this point. Just, I think what's going to happen is tonight I'm going to fix the final few things that I'm just not satisfied with. And then I'm going to go on to completing the challenge more, the reward system for Naxx. Then I can actually move on with my life for the time being. But, biggest thing, probably getting the void zones fixed for 4 Horsemen, seeing if I can get the positions for Maexxna's spider web wraps to work. This fight I did adjust a little bit to make it a little bit more mandatory that you actually mind control. However, I don't know, I haven't tested it yet, so we're going to try without mind controlling anything first. But in case you don't know, there is a ring that you get in Blackwing Lair called the Band of Dark Dominion. It's specifically made for this encounter, so if you are not a priest and you need to mind control, you can get that from trash in BWL. So, put that in probably 8 months ago. Yeah, we're going to see if we can just plow through it. And then I'm going to have to adjust things from there again. I do remember there being, like, extra weapons mechanics throughout this fight. Maybe it was for Northrend Naxx, but I should probably look that up again. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't help the fact that that Death Knights at the moment are uncrittable because of their frost presence. Because what his ability will do is actually decrease your defense by 100. So yeah. I'll need to figure that out. Maybe have them do custom damage on NPC bots. Because it hits really hard. It's just not hitting really hard right now. But yeah, I mean, that's easy to fix. And again, I think I really do suspect that with challenge modes on, you'll have to do some of those mechanics again anyway. But Man, I really don't have any bag space. And this fight is not fixed on individual progression. It's really a pain in the butt fight to script out in general. Trying to get the two groups on either side. I did end up looking at the V-Mangos version of the fight, because it does work. But I still just used the custom Lewis scripts that I had originally to make the fight work, so I'll probably properly fix the fight eventually, but it's working as it should now. It's just missing some visual stuff, and maybe the NPCs are not quite doing the right abilities or whatever, but yeah. In fact, I'm probably just going to put a tank right there. Another tank right there. And let's do a couple healers. Or just one healer. We'll do some melee, and we should be good to go. So, we'll see. I haven't done it with this type of setup before. I usually just wait for them to come through. But the arcane explosion, the explosions initially can be a pain, so might as well just kill them ahead of time if we can, and it looks like they're doing okay. Eventually. Do feel like the boss goes down like too quick when he comes down, and I get that he puts out that debuff that decreases all your stats or whatever, so you want to get him down quick anyway, but it still feels a little quick. Then some bots will just move over to the other side regardless of the gate being up, just because of creature scripting. But honestly, gates in Azeroth Core are kind of in a weird spot anyway, where you can actually, like, LOS checks don't matter at all through doors and stuff. It's so stupid. Actually damage him right now? Oh, you can. That's wrong. That's an easy fix. Just making him unattackable and extending it until he comes down. I don't know if that's Blizz-like, but I don't like it. Being able to attack him on the balcony. Yeah, like they might cast Arcane Explosion a little too much. But I think it's totally fine if things are a little bit harder anyway. And all these transitions to get these NPCs over to the dead side is all done through Lua. I don't know if... I mean, if you try the stock individual progression, it's only the living side that spawns and nothing happens on the dead side, so... yeah. Yeah, I usually just stand in the middle. Just run to the mid. Yeah, okay, so his health is a little bit better now. I still would like to get up to like 5 or 6 stacks, but anyway. Just gonna pull some big trash, because I think we're at that point where we can do that now. Have everyone stack. You know, one thing with the commands I should probably check at some point is how it interacts with other players. If another player has bots. I haven't looked at that yet. But that's easy to test, easy to fix. pull here. Wrong way. There you go. See if this is far enough or not. I'm kind of in a weird position, which is probably why she's running all over the place, but still gets it done. Okay, so 4 Horsemen, again, I really just don't feel like they definitely feel a lot more like the Northrend 4 Horsemen at the moment. I think over time I'd like to make them closer to the actual Naxx40 ones. But I definitely need to do something or figure out make some sort of decision when it comes to bot movement for this fight, and whether to do that through commands or if I want to do something else. So I have one tank stand over here. I need to figure out a little bit better probably where to have bots stand over here initially. But here first, don't move there. Like the void zones are kind of something I need to look at again. I might have them as avoiding the damage. It's been a while though since I've looked at that. So you stand over there. Then I need another healer. This is a DPS. Actually, you go back. Probably have too many things back here, but that's okay. Rather be safe than sorry. Really, that's probably it. I probably need one more caster. Let's put a Shadow Priest back here. Uh oh. Okay, that scared me. Let's get you to follow, you to follow. I guess this is the painful process of setting things up on 4 Horsemen that has always been a sore point for me. Okay. And you also need to follow, obviously. Just gonna stack them up. Again, you can't really do that in 40-man Naxx, so a lot like Northrend. You could actually set up your bots to switch back and forth in the back if you wanted to. You just have to set predefined points and then have them switch back and forth. It looks like my priest is standing in stupid. So I'm going to have her move. Back to that. Yeah, and honestly, they might not be doing anything back there, but at least they're keeping the raid from dying. So let me move. That meteor probably needs fixing too, because it's just not doing the amount of damage it should. Didn't even pay attention to it the entire fight. Oops, hold on. You guys deal with that. I'll go over here. There. That's a better icon to use, my bad. So initially, when this was released to the repack for the 4 Horsemen, they were doing absurd amounts of damage. I had to give them a sort of band-aid fix. And then I fixed them, and I probably undertuned them at that point, so it's now just a matter of tuning them back up again, but I'm so excited to show you guys the Sapphiron fight. Like, that's a big one for me. Oh, soul string for my whatchamacallit, my Dark Ranger. Let's see. Do it.
Hello.
Ranged. Ah, so nice. Okay. So, here's the fun part. This is the awesome part. And this was very instructive and is going to be super helpful for later fights. Like I said, we can actually start making some custom soak mechanics with this type of coating in mind. So I think it would be nice to have. So I did increase the frost damage a little bit. I feel like it needed it. Looks like I can't hero yet, that's okay. So I don't really want him tanking, but that's okay. Bots will avoid the blizzards. They'll actually target the bots now before they will only target the players. I'm trying to find that right balance for Sapphiron where you don't actually need to equip 24 bots with frost resistance gear, but it still reasonably, requires some form of resistance, but now they're all moving to their positions to spread out for the ice block. And one of them died because of the blizzard. That's just kind of a occupational hazard. Now they move behind the ice blocks, whatever's closest to them. And they do get hit by stuff now too for the explosion. And then after that's done, they'll actually resume combat. Looks like we had some bots that were healers not go and share the load a bit, but that's okay. So none of that was with any in-game commands. It's all automated. And I'm sure some of them will get battle resed and whatnot, but yeah, super awesome that that became a thing. I thought about making the blizzard just disappear for that phase because it makes it really challenging to have bots move to their specific locations. But yeah. So we'll watch them move again. Hopefully we got a better spread of healers at each one now, but looks like we do. And then they'll follow. I will say the frost aura, that's like the hardest thing to get right. 850 is what I had it before. It's at 920 now. I might lower it down to like 905, but I just anticipate there being some major issues with needing more resistance on challenge modes, so and I do make him like unattackable for the air phase. That's just to get. I just like him not being attackable during that phase. It also makes bots a little bit more cooperative from moving into positions that you want them to move into. So. And they will healthstone prior to moving, so that they're actually somewhat topped off. Obviously, some of them are still struggling to potentially die due to the dot, but you can't heal them if they're in the ice block, so. But there is also a new racial that increases resistance for your entire raid for a short duration, and that's actually a good place to use it. It has a 3-minute cooldown. Probably should have used it here, but die. Sorry, I'm trying to get my bots to move a little bit better. Have you ever had an issue where you had add an NPC to the instance and once you reset the NPC is gone? Nope. Really? That's really weird how just a little bit of an increase in damage on that ability can make the fight a lot harder. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess if you temporarily summon the NPC, then yeah, I've had that issue, but no, it should stay there. I did also make the lifesteal hit for more, so that's probably partially what's going on with bots dying, but Really wish my shaman healer hadn't died super early. That'd have been nice. I might move some of you. You're gonna move over there. Some of you are too spread out for my taste. So yeah, I mean, you can micromanage your bots during that phase. So if you want to get your bots out of Blizzard, you can absolutely do that. So it's not just total automatic play on their part. There's still a little bit of management involved, which is nice. I think at this point he doesn't go back up in air phases anymore, so... Which NPC did you add to the instance? And which instance was it? I guess is what I would ask. But yeah, that's the Saph fight. Bots actually doing what they should for the most part. So yeah, Prismatic Guard. Useful ability, increases unit raid's resistance to all schools by 75 for 15 seconds. All players in the raid will incur cooldown on the spell, so you can't just have players rotate through it. Which is nice. For this one, changes from the repack. I did make it so that mana detonation works on bots now. I also made it so that the freezing blast will hit bots as well. They still won't get targeted for the void zones. I could script that in, but I just would rather not at this point. Custom SPC and hold versus layer the rest of 100. Oh yeah. I would say I'm surprised you found that map, because versus layers was a planned thing a long time ago, but it never happened, so it's probably a good idea to get your bots to stack on you. You'd have your tanks go out, I guess, but I did lower this phase to like 3 minutes, because I just thought it was incredibly long. Yeah, Ursa's Lair, like, I like the map, I just don't... It needs a lot of work. I think eventually it would be nice to do something for it, but... Use a camera tool to find it. It was, yeah, front score is the actual map. Yep. Yep. I like the central area. I thought about just limiting it to that area. Even some of the other stuff is fine too. I'd be fine if Belgarth wanted to go through and clean up the map, but I just hate adding ground textures in too. I mean, it doesn't take too much effort, but if you're going to add ground textures, you want to make sure that your roadways are 100% clear. Otherwise, you get ground textures where you didn't intend on having them, so yeah. It's so fun to watch your melee DPS move back and forth between things. Alright, so this is where you just use simple spread command rather than... Actually, I do use the spread to command. I'm trying to remember. Keep the read target for off tank on there. I did fix the void zones too because they were triggering too quickly. It's supposed to trigger after 4 seconds, not 2. But it's an area trigger NPC and their base attack time was 2, so changed that to 4 in order to have the spell that they trigger happen at 4 seconds rather than 2, so anyway. Usually the default spread IO button, or spread 2 button I guess, that's usually good enough for this fight. Just gotta manage yourself a little bit if you're melee, so... Oh, I didn't see her up. Yeah, I tried to clear the level 25 that was actually in the game, was scripted in for the first map pack, wasn't it? Yeah. Yep. Yep. We... Like I said, we didn't, lots of work that it still needed to get done, and I just let myself die. Sorry. So, I like the map, just so much work in terms of scripting and actual map work, but... It'd be nice if you were not in melee range, Mr. Druid. Just hold on. Honestly, this fight's more about managing your bots anyway, so I'm not really worried about doing incredible amounts of damage. I mean, some bots might still get hit. But, yeah. And then at this point, I'm always tempted to just let my bots follow me and do whatever. But I know that's not a good idea, so... Just get a hero instead. For me, the last boss I added Ursoc from Emerald Nightmare had an original dialogue. The original dialogue, quite a fun fight. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you ever do any map edits on it and you have something that you produce that you really like, let us know and we can add it in. I think it'd be good to have more low-level dungeons. I'd like to do solo dungeons at some point. It's just, there's just always so much on my plate, I feel like. Like when it comes to real life or projects I'm already working on, it's just always something. But, yep. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Naxx. I'm gonna do a development portion of the stream I just need some bag space. Oh no. I just need to use the restroom real quick and then we'll start doing some of that stuff. Let's see. So you guys edit it in. That is the best sword ever. I really want the Tom Keck version of this sword, by the way, the one that he redid. So nice. So Atraxian, if you are around, we should talk and see if maybe we can get Tom to share us that model for his the custom one. I'd like more of his weapons, but anyway. Yeah. So cool. All right. I just need like a couple minutes. I'll be right back though. Alright, so I'm gonna get rid of my face and do one. This one should be good. Cool. Alright. So we're gonna do some enchantments. I always felt like stabs were underwhelming, but let's see. Corlock says I'm crappy at map edits. Oh well, yeah, I got the low level one. I need to add to LFG. I already have heroic level 16 LFG tool. Yeah, it'd be good. What's your Discord name again? Because I'd love to talk to you about it. But yeah, so as far as enchantments go, I always felt like stabs were very underwhelming. And Wrath did attempt to alleviate the issue with stabs with an enchant towards the end of the life cycle of the game. However, it was still underwhelming. So we're gonna do a 30 spell power, 15 hit rating staff enchant. maybe 33 spell power, because it's vanilla, why not? I want to add some hit rating to staves, just to make them an easier route. I'll probably add a, probably add it to the enchants that you can get from AQ40. So if we go to AQ40 now, did add some reputation type vendors. Decky, okay, right, awesome. Posted a clip in Discord just now. Yeah, I mean, if we could get the map working and whatnot, I'd suggest saving all your creature data and stuff. You know how to back up your content, right? Because I'd hate to overwrite it, because I tend to drop tables on updates because it's like the cleanest way to do updates. So just whatever you add, make sure you put in a notepad file so that you can insert and delete it later. One thing that Azeroth Core is changing is they're separating out the model IDs for creatures into a separate table, which is super obnoxious. I'm going to see about maybe creating a custom SQL query for people so that they can actually merge their stuff easier for when that change happens. But I hate the fact that they're adding a separate table for just model IDs. It's so stupid. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to add the enchants to this vendor here. I did make some new icons and whatnot. But there's basically a couple of things you need for the custom enchant spell, I guess you could say. So we'll start with the spell item enchantment.dbc. So I'm just going to open it up in WDEX editor. I'm going to use an existing enchantment as sort of a template, so I'm going to find that staff enchant one way or another. Let's see. Staff. So greater spell power. So if you look up greater spell power in spell editor, there's probably a couple of this one is, one of them is for the, well, I'll go over that in a sec. So this misc value A right here, that is for the actual enchantment ID from this table. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So 3854. And so, okay, yeah, so this effect 1 is basically just raw stats if you put in 5. There's other effects in there that you can throw in as well. Chance on hit, you can link it to an existing spell that you have in spell editor. But we're going to go ahead and copy that row, insert it here, paste it here rather. And we're going to change effects. So effect 2, I make this 33 spell power. This is effect points minimum and effect point max. So if you wanted enchantments to have random values every time you enchanted them, you would do that. Is that healing? Okay, that seems superfluous to me actually. I don't know why you would add that in. Oh, it's because they removed it at one point. Okay. So the second argument is going to be for hit rating, which is 31, and these follow the same values as the stat values that you would find on actual items. So if you look in the database for item template, like 7 is for stamina, you know, so 45 is spell power, 31 is hit rating. Then you want to put in the amount that you will want. So effect points, so this is for hit rating. Then we will do plus 33 spell power. And actually name this whatever you want. So it's 15 hit. That's what we'll name it. This is the item visual, what you want the item to actually glow as. This source item ID is for gems. So if you're planning on creating a new gem, you want to put the visual for the gem here. Not the visual, but the actual item ID for the gem. Let's see, so posted a clip on disk. Yeah, I think I knew it. Would that break Kira tool? So I think Kira is probably going to be broken and they'll have to do an update once they do implement it. I don't really plan on updating the source and for the next update to have those changes, but we'll see. It depends on how fast I am. I just would hate to have to do a lot of conflict resolutions for the code. Okay, so we now have our enchant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find our greater spell power enchant here, which is 62948. We're going to duplicate that. New ID 62948. Note that as well. And we're going to change the ID from 3854 3914. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what this misc value B is, so let me just look that up. Spell item enchantment.dbc. So misc value. Let's do enchant item. Okay, item ID for weapon. So, okay. I'm trying to remember. It's value A and B. Okay. Spell item enchant. Okay, 14 or 15. Seems like 14 is armor and 15 is weapon. So this is, oh yeah, so this is typed the Vellums from the whatchamacallits. The weapon Vellums, armor Vellums, that kind of thing. So that lets the server know which one to use. So this one is for 15. And if we want to add a level to it, this is a good place to do that. Level 60 is a good place. Trying to remember the item type. Let's see. Item type. Scroll of enchant stuff. Okay, so yeah, this is the actual scroll. So we're gonna have to create a new scroll as well. So 45056. I know what ID this is gonna be. It's gonna be 845056 because I'm just gonna duplicate this same row. Five oh five six. I should just do a query to find it, but I don't care. Duplicating that. So this is for our actual Vellum. So enchant spell power. What do we want to call it? What do we want to call it? This is, let's see. We'll just call it Arcane Precision. Why not? You could even just call it Arcane Potency, whatever you want it to be. So, item level, we're just going to make it 60. Let's do stackable 200, all that fun stuff. And the spell ID for the item enchantment to apply. Oops. Flags, though. What are your flags? That's what I want to know. It's been a while. Here, so flags, you can check here. Player cast item, item purchase record. Could be returned to the vendor for its original extended cost. Seems a little bit superfluous. Same with that one. Okay, cool. So, yeah, people complained about not seeing, so it's either too little font or too big font, and it seems like no one's ever happy. So, let's do that. Whiners. I will zoom out just for you guys. Okay. So, so we have our new scroll. Great. We have the new enchantment, and we have the new spell. So we need to make sure that the spell. Let's see, scroll of enchant. Shoot. Scroll of. Need to make sure that the spell description is fine, and it doesn't look like we have one, so that's good. Let's look at one of these. So we have formula, enchant next spirit. We're just going to duplicate that. And this is to actually teach the spell that we want to learn, so we're going to do that. At staff. Gain precision. Then do, okay. So this is a required skill. Which, that doesn't look right. Let's see, so. Okay, so yeah, no, that's right. That's right, okay. So 333 is the skill, and you can always look at skill in the skill line.dbc, and this is a required skill rank, so 300. And then we have the required reputation. In this case, it's the Brood of Nozdormu. Here we have the required reputation mount, so this is exalted. So you need to be exalted with the Brood of Nozdormu in order to purchase this, or you will need to be able to. And we need this. So there's two spell IDs. There's a spell ID for actually learning the spell, and then the second spell ID is for the spell you want to learn. So in this case, it's going to be 862948. And the trigger type is 6. Sorry. The trigger type, this is why I usually edit these videos. Trigger type 6, which is for learning. So spell ID 1 is the learning spell, spell ID 2, spell you want to learn. And here in the description, we're going to want to change that as well. So let's do, teaches you how to permanently enchant your staff to increase your spell power and hit rating. Spell power by 33, hit rating by 15. Which location is this? I've never seen that dragon before. So this is an AQ40, it's a custom boss. Not a custom boss, it's a custom vendor. This is to make it easier so that you can actually purchase stuff for your bots if you want to. I just put I put the reputation requirements on each piece of gear. I added the reagent requirements as well. And then this is just new stuff I've been adding. So this is not in the repack yet, but it will be. And these are new currencies that drop just from AQ. So let's see. So you might have one of the dev updates that has some of this stuff in there, maybe, but yeah, it'll be there. What else? So yeah, spell enchantments. That's good. I think we're good there. I need to make sure that the actual spell is on there again. Hold on. Just double checking my work. So there's that. And then, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We're just going to export our spell DBC. We're going to make sure that we saved our spell enchantment. Also going to update our item DBC so that things are reflected on the item stuff properly. So tools, Wrath of the Lich King item import, you hit connect, you go to world. Let's see, item template. Ooh, this is gonna break. No, that's not gonna break. Never mind, we're good. I thought, yeah, we're good. Never mind. So hit save. We're also gonna have to update our skillline.ability.dbc file so that it actually shows up in our enchantment spellbook. So 62948 is what we're looking for. 62948. There's a lot of steps involved with enchantments, and gems add an additional step to this crap. So we're just going to copy the other staff skill line, paste it, put an 8 in front of that, and the trivial skill line, which I'm just going to make 300 and 315, and I wonder if I just accidentally deleted the previous row, so let me look at that. What's that? Oh, right. Yeah, I don't care about skill line for that. Okay, cool. So trivial skill line 315, 300. This is when like stuff goes green and red and orange and whatnot. Save. Probably not the best tutorial in the world at the moment, but Now that we have all those things, we got our item DBC, skill line ability.dbc, we got our spell item enchantment.dbc, we got our new items, we got the item that teaches the actual formula, we got the item for adding it to the Vellum. Now, we're going to shut down our server. Actually spell it right. So, after our client's closed as well, we're going to open up our working patch file and go to our DB files client. We're going to take all that crap we just updated, so spell dbc goes into our client, goes into our server folder as well. Then from the server folder we need the item dbc, we need to spell, item dbc, spell item enchantment. Need the skill line ability.dbc as well. Then we're going to drag those over and drop them in. Hit yes, close the MPQ, start up our server again. Then we're going to add it to the vendor and we're going to give it some extended costs. Oh, and I should probably, one thing that you should probably do, scroll, no, enchant staff. You should rename that, which is arcane precision. We're going to do that. Spell power by 33, and hit rating by 15. Requires level 60 or higher item, and so you can limit that by going into here and putting the base level to 60. You can also set a max level if you want. Yes. Anyway. I don't know if that's how that really works. I think I'm double checking that real quick. Okay, so yeah, okay, so max level is the item level. Base level is the actual level of the item. So the item must be this level, but the max level is the item level. So enchant, let's see, so I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So enchant staff. And then we gotta change the reagent costs. So whatever I want this to be, and we'll do that in a sec. Let me think about what I want there. I think I'm gonna do some of the typical reagent costs that we already have for some of the other enchants that happened in this particular tier. So let's see. Let's go to enchants. To wait for this to load because it takes a minute for my client to load up. This is a new wand, by the way. It unlocks chests and other stuff for you up to a certain point. Let's see, so power defense, so we got 5 Sandworn Shard, Crystal Scarab. We're gonna make this one cost some Nexus crystals. So let me see what the cost is for spell power. So golden pearl, greater eternal essence. So we could do that. So 1-6, we're gonna do 1-4-3-4-4. For those, we do 16203. Do 6 of those, just because. I'm going to skip on the golden pearls because we're going to do the crystalline scarabs. I just need to find the item ID real quick. So, shards and of course my inventory is full. Why wouldn't it be? Yes. So 834055. I'm gonna make it require 5 of those. That's pretty good. Okay. Then 834056 for the crystalline scarab. I do 1 of those. And I think instead of the large brilliance, I'm just gonna do the Nexus shards or the Nexus crystals or whatever they're called. Here. Let's see. Right there. So 20725. We'll make it cost 2 of those, because I feel like those aren't used a whole lot in enchanting, and they should be. So now that we have that done, I gotta restart my server again. In this case, right here, add it both to the server and client side of things. Restart our server. We forgot to. You know, 15 hit rating might be a bit too much. That's like 1.5% at level 60. But at the same time, you have to think that you have both an offhand and a main hand. But the fact that the enchantment's added in AQ40 is actually not a bad thing in terms of it being overpowered at low levels. I don't plan on adding it to the regular enchant vendor like that you see in capital cities. I don't really do that for new enchantments. That's just for like the base stock ones. I made them require reagents now at this point too, except it's quite like twice the amount that would normally cost for an enchanter to make. So, all right, so let's go add this thing to the vendor, and I remember. Let's see. So yeah, so this is the item ID. Whoops. That's a updated model from Atraxian, by the way. I really like the new models that he's done for Silithids. Okay, so dragon. We just NPC add item, the item ID there. Oops, added a random slash. Now we have that on the vendor. It's right there. Costs 3 gold currently. You could adjust the value on the actual item itself, but in this case, I need to see what the extended cost is for one of these, and the cost for these are the shards and some of the Battle Lord insignias or whatever. So for this one, I'm probably going to create a new extended cost. So for that, we do item extended cost.dbc. I should probably make sure that this works properly. So I'm just going to make sure that it shows up in the spellbook, so we're going to learn that real quick. Looks like it learned okay. Wait for this thing to load again. Staff. Yeah, so it looks like it pretty much did what it was supposed to do. Let's see, so that's right, we're doing item extended cost. This is basically where you want to add item requirements for various vendor items. So this is the one for the neck enchants. I'm basically just going to increase the total sandworn shards that you need by 5. That's it. Hit save. Now we got to look up the item on the NPC vendor. I did a video on extended costs a while ago, so I'm not going to really go over it too much, but what's the item ID? Let's see. Sorry. $6,255. These are less tutorials and just kind of showing you guys what I do. So it's right here. Just gotta copy the ID for that. Paste it there. Gonna shut down the server. Shut down our client. Open the MPQ as soon as our client closes. Make sure we obsessively saved that DBC file. Then stick it in our client. Yes. Start up our server again, and then everything should just be working as it should. Potentially. Sorry, I'm looking at something else while the server starts up. This is AoE avoidance for bots. I'm thinking about adding the void zones, and I think it's the same idea as this Kara one. So I'll probably just do that. Anyway. I'm going to re-enable the Naxx one. Let's see. I thought I had... I swear I had another Naxx one, so let me look. Okay, Locust Swarm, yeah, so that's for that. Never mind. I'll deal with that in a minute. I want to check my costs are correct too, so let's look at the staff enchant. I would like there to be more wands that you can craft with enchanting too. I don't know if I'll add any more for vanilla. Maybe 1 or 2. I feel like you go a long time without getting sort of any wand upgrade after ZG. So yep. And it looks like we're here. We got the 20 shards. And staff. Enchant. Yep, so we got 2 Nexus crystals, 6 eternal essence, 5 shards, and 1 scarab for that. And it requires a titanium rod, which is wrong, so we need to fix that. So this is going to be... what is it? What's the max rod for vanilla? Enchanting rod. I think it is... Ruined Arcanite rod, right? Yeah. So hit save on that. I'll export that and fix that later, but good to know. I'll make sure that my neck enchants are also... okay, so that they don't require any rod. That's funny. But that's okay. What else is there? I mean, that's really all I have time for tonight. But thank you guys for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I look forward to talking with a couple of you on the flip side of things. So yeah, just shoot me a DM, Dacky, if you wanna chat over some dungeons, because we would love to do more custom dungeons. I think it would be good. Anyway, have a good night, guys, and happy Father's Day to everyone.